It's a little past 6:30. Welcome to our rescheduled regular select board meeting. All the board members are present except for Tom Moran. The town manager is present. Let's begin with pledge of allegiance. Flag is in the back.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do any board members have any additional business not included on the published agenda that they'd like to consider? Okay. Are there any conflicts by board members with any of tonight's business? No, there are none. Okay, has everyone had an opportunity to look at the minutes from our last meeting?
Yes. I have, but I wasn't here, so it's.
Make
We
a-
accept the minutes of the previous meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries 3-0.
I'm gonna abstain, thank you.
Warrants and donations, payroll number 19. Would someone like to make a motion on that?
Move to approve payroll number 19 in the amount of $12,451.02.
Second.
Anything you have to tell us about that one, Shannon?
I have no comments on that.
Okay. Discussion by board members? Public comment? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. Accounts payable warrants number 20 in the amount of $33,896.22. Do you have anything to tell us about that one? Before well, let's go ahead and make a motion first. I'm sorry.
Move we approve accounts payable number 20 in the amount of $33,896.22.
Second.
Okay, Shannon, anything to tell us about that one?
Just primarily you're looking at the contractual amount for the plowing for, roads. And then we've got 3, DEP plumbing permits. We're just catching up on the DEP portion of that versus the state. There's trainings on there and then legal.
Okay. Any discussion by board members? Public comment? All in favor? Motion carries 4-0. We don't have any donations to accept tonight. Okay. So moving on to old business, review and discuss the draft board commissions and committees appointment policy. That is on pages 10 through 14 of our packet. I'm just going to open that up and ask for any board discussion on this.
Are there any loose ends on this matter would carry it over for further discussion or?
Well, it's, I think the section on, I think the very last paragraph is incomplete. And Shannon had offered us some suggestions at our last meeting, and we didn't treat those very favorably. And so we now have an abbreviated paragraph or section 5 that I think needs to be completed. And so I would suggest if we can have some sort of a consensus on what we want to put there, I'm happy to go ahead and write it, and then we can discuss and maybe act on it the next meeting.
Thanks.
On the appointment process, this is for the advisory and ceremonial committees. These are committees like the Memorial Day Committee. Okay. What we have right now is prior to the first meeting in May, the town manager will request from the chair of each such committee a list of all committee members who wish to be appointed for another term. Okay? Now, do we want the chairs from the committee to also advise the town manager on whether they have want to add members or have, well, we'll know that they tell us how many vacancies they have to fill. But, or do we just leave it like this? I mean, let's look at paragraph 5 and figure out how we want to end it.
Well, don't we want to solicit any other, or see if anybody else wants to join any of those committees? Like by putting that,
Do you want to we can, there's a blank slate at the end of the paragraph 5 that's just blank pages that we can fill in however.
I would like to see that the town get some kind of notification as to what might be open on these committees. So that if there are people that are interested, they can see right up front what
Mhm.
committees might be looking for members.
Mhm.
So I would like that posted.
I'm looking for
could
the
be-
similar language that is in one of these that basically says,
Cool.
we're gonna let folks know where we've got vacancies and let people apply. Or express an interest.
We said that we're doing that we'll leave who serves on the committee, the chair of that committee, advisory and ceremonial ones. We'd have a somewhat different process than the rest.
Yes, well, we can make it the same process if we want to go through, if
Yeah.
we want to go through the gymnastics of evaluating applications for people for ceremonial and advisory committees, that's an option that we can choose to take.
I do not think that that's necessary.
Okay,
We could just say that this town manager will post these on the town website or some such thing, which
And
is probably what you do anyway, right?
If I were notified of them.
yeah.
Yes.
What do you, right now, we don't really, I don't know that there's a chair. I mean, we kind of talked about it last time. Do we have a designated recognized chair for each of these committees? Some of them we do, I know.
I have some of them that have reached out to me and
Yes.
have indicated that they have a chair,
Chair.
and then there are some I am not aware of.
Okay. Do we want to put in this document or somewhere that each year the committee will select a chair and advise the town manager on who that is?
yes,
So she knows who to contact if she has some
Yes.
business with this
yes.
committee.
Yeah.
Okay,
Serving
okay.
just as a contact person, if nothing else.
okay.
And then somewhere there's some similar language around 119, 120 about requesting applications.
Select chair and advise, okay.
So the chair could let town manager know.
Now,
If they've got gaps
Yeah.
and request.
what do you think about, just as a possibility, we're interested in opening this up for people in the town that are interested in serving on a committee. What if we publish a synopsis of what these committees do sometime in the February, March timeframe? It could be, if we think what's in the last town report is adequate, just use that. And then in that notice, say people with interest should contact the chair of the committee and visit with them about it. Bad idea? Fair idea? Poor?
I think it's much more direct that way,
Yeah.
Okay,
because I don't think that we need to be involved in it.
oh, okay. And then, what do you think about sometime in May that the chair of each of these committees sends us their recommendations on who should be appointed for the year beginning July 1st?
Do we appoint them?
Because
Do we appoint them
Yeah.
now?
we're going to want to officially name them.
Yes, we do.
By then,
Yes,
so-
yes.
That would probably work.
Or do we want these people, another option is advertise, publicize what these committees do. And we can say people who have interest should send their applications to the town manager. We can do that. And then she can send it to the committee chairs. I don't know why we just don't have them contact the committee chair for the ceremonial committees.
That's pretty much the way it's done now, is it
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, they contact, have,
Okay,
suggest that people contact the committee chair and they, whatever.
Yeah.
other-
and then the chairs will make recommendations to the select board and then we will act on those recommendations. Is that fair?
Yep.
How does
Yeah.
that work for you, Chanel?
I will receive recommendations in May and bring that to the select board for appointment in June.
Okay, I'll finish section 5 and I'll send it out beforehand.
Good.
And then can maybe put it to bed or if hopefully there may be something to tweak, but we can hopefully do it at the next meeting.
Do
Yes, ma'am?
we need to give any guidance to those chairs, if they get, I know that's rare, they have one opening and they get 5 people who want to be on the committee? Would we want to address that in here at all?
Well, we could, how would you like to address it? Now, the system that I just proposed, the downside of that is it basically leaves selecting the committee up to the discretion of the chair. I mean, and we talk about recommendations, but the bottom line is that's what's gonna happen.
Right,
And we might as well recognize it. And do we want to have some sort of provision if someone is unhappy with that process as it actually occurs?
Well, you put something in there that, the select board reserves the right, has.
I think that if somebody was unhappy, they might come to us anyway, so.
Let's open this up for public comment.
I'm not sure that any of the ceremonial committees have limits on it.
I don't think they do.
So.
Yeah,
wouldn't you love to get 5 people for a committee?
If I were
Well-
on a committee that didn't have a number, yeah, that's, if people interactive.
Right.
Always something that they could do for them.
and I don't. For example, the Memorial Day Committee, it seems like I don't think that they could suffer. I mean, they would be up to the chair, but I can't believe the committee would suffer from greater participation from more members.
Right,
So,
okay, then I
Yeah,
will
so-
table
so-
that concern.
is that all right? Are there any other public comments on this?
How many committees are there?
Oh, yeah, I have to go
Dozens
back.
and dozens.
We have quite a few, but what we're talking about now are committees that don't actually perform governmental functions, but they do ceremonial things, they
Memorial
help the
Day,
quality of
Strawberry
life in the
Festival.
town, like the Memorial Day
Yeah.
Committee. We have other provisions for boards and committees that actually have governing powers like the planning board. I wouldn't be able to tell you all. We got a cemetery committee, we got a Memorial Day committee, we've got the farmers market committee.
Strawberry Festival?
The Strawberry Festival,
No,
That's a sustain Wayne.
yeah, that's sustained wing. That's not really a town
Cemetery.
function.
There, do we have a cemetery committee? Cause I
We
understood
did.
that we have the
think so.
cemetery association.
Well,
That's not part of the town.
well,
They're separate. They're their own organization.
are
We
they,
give them an appropriation.
yeah, how are they listed? I think they're listed as a committee in the town.
They asked
report.
us to put them, they asked us to put them on the website so people have an idea of how to reach out to them, to the.
On our
section.
list of committees, does anybody remember whether they were on there or not?
I
Most of the
cemetery-
cemeteries are the responsibility,
The cemetery association,
right, but it's the cemeteries, I believe, the town.
I don't know how that
There's
works. I can
five,
tell you, the
six
cemetery
cemeteries.
associations, it's a separate nonprofit entity. If you look on the state, the Wayne Cemetery Association is, is a nonprofit, like a foundation. I don't know if they're actually a corporation or not.
Right, and they currently maintain 6 of the cemeteries in the county. And then I believe there's, I wanna say 3 private ones that are privately owned.
Most probably was Pleasant.
Yeah, and Wing, I think that might be getting transferred, and then there's I'm not sure of the last one, if there's another one, but. Maybe just 2, you know. Privately.
I think we've about got.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Right.
we'll take that up next
Good.
time with some additional language. Review and discuss the revisions to the town of Wayne financial policy.
The only loose end I noticed is that I think all of the edits that she provided and everyone else are in there. And the one that's still missing is the determination of recommended fund balance. I think that should not be hard to do. We're not looking for an essay on the subject, which this really is. We're just looking for what it is. And then we also want to bring up to date the numbers. And if everybody agrees with that, Ted, Jan and I will draw it up tomorrow morning sometime and send it around.
Well, from the last comprehensive, financial report that the treasurer gave, she had a little, paper that basically said what the recommended various entities recommended. And I think we ought to just pick something from that. You know, that's a good guide to come up with.
Yeah.
The number fluctuates, so you wouldn't really be, you can say, for example, in 2024, the number, where in 2025, the number would be,
Yeah.
but it's put in terms of 2 months of the highest expenditures in the last year, things
Yeah.
such as that.
That would just be
And
useful.
she has, now, if we go and look at line 154, I put that in there and it was not, I wasn't consistent in my terms. It should either be, I think they should be special reserve funds. So the title was special revenue funds and I didn't change, and that probably needs to be changed to reserve. And then somewhere else in there, somewhere I came up with special purpose funds. And that purpose should also be reserved to make the language consistent.
I had a question at the very beginning and I tried to get in there. Now I know how I can put notes in there. But occasionally the town manager needs to run the front office too, correct? You've had to,
staff.
right.
Yes,
And there really is no provision in there for how that happens, whether it happens, what how the money is handled when the town manager is running running the front. And it seems like if that's something that's gonna happen and that person is going to be handling money, I think that needs to be addressed.
Do we have 2 cash drawers like this says right now?
we do have, well, we have 3 cash
3
drawers
cash
technically.
drawers.
We keep 1 in the vault. We have 2 out for the 2 clerks. Well,
Okay.
Clerk and tax collector.
Okay. So, when the town manager steps in and handles the transaction and handles money, how do we want to? I think Mary Ann has a good point. We probably should address that in here somehow.
Okay.
And you and Lynn recommend something to us.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I prefer, because you guys know how it works. I have no idea what's the best process.
So somewhere
Everybody-
around in the thirties here.
Yes, correct.
In this paragraph.
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
And then we also get back to, pardon me, how the cash up procedures go, and that would also, it probably would have to include, the town manager being upfront as well.
Now, let's look at line 294. The annual cash flow analysis on January 1st, I mean, that's fine if that's what we want to do. But it seems that if we're on a, do we want to have that analysis to jive with our fiscal year and also to be presented as some possible input in the budgeting process? Just a question.
I think it says right there under line 295, be presented to members of the select board and budget committee
Yes,
for
Yeah.
their information, comments and approval.
yeah, but do we want to have that information? Does our cash flow analysis, should that be one of the tools that the select board and the budget committee have at the time they're preparing the budget?
Yes.
Okay, so then do we want to do that do we want that to be a January 1st exercise?
Maybe February.
Okay, well, okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. And so it's just gonna go January through December? Or is it going to be a projection? Is it going to be a projection for the next fiscal year?
I would do a projection for the next fiscal year.
Okay, I think maybe we could clarify that
Okay.
and
Let's get a period after the date too. With those little things.
and, you know, January, that's 6 months out. Yeah, if we did it by the end of February, that gives us at least some input for the budget, but
I mean, right now, I think the analysis that Lynn's been putting together is the historical data
Yeah.
for the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And then with projections in the next year of
Yeah.
what we could look at, any fluctuation based off of those historical documents,
Mhm.
assessments.
Lynn's gonna brief us on the investment policy next time.
Yes, she is. And investments, that's what she's, I think, mostly looking at.
Yeah.
So around 345. I think I sent a comment, Henry, and it looks like you put it in. Add vote to. But as written, it says town of Wayne Select Board shall adopt the investment policy. So is your intent to actually put that in red line? Line 345.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it compels us to adopt it regardless of whatever.
no, I understand. Vote to adopt, yeah. I don't know why it's not in there. This was massaged with other comments after I did my comments, but yeah, it should have a,
And there's a typo on 338 I found, missing an R on treasurer. So it looks like my comments are in comments.
town manager and treasurer, yeah.
Does that mean we're gonna talk about them, or does that mean we're gonna include them?
I think maybe, okay. Hazel, I think that was your comment, vote to add.
Yeah,
vote to.
it is.
Okay,
Those
okay,
are my
okay,
three
okay, yeah,
comments on that
yeah,
page.
yes, no, vote to is correct. Treasurer is correct.
And then I didn't particularly
Treasurer,
care that the
maybe.
town manager and treasurer are randomly including stuff. I thought maybe it was at their discretion.
Yeah,
as opposed to-
randomly is a bad word.
Good call.
I like those, okay.
So HS is gonna be problematic, isn't it?
Yeah,
There were two of us.
Exactly.
yeah. And we're in different colors. I think I'm in,
Oh, are you the
She's-
orange?
yeah, she's more of a violet.
It's
She's
reddish.
more of a violet and I'm a little more pinkish, reddish.
got it. All right, that helps. Thank you.
Because I know that, I think I put in the deal about the obtaining confirmation from the auditors.
Oh, so that must be my pinkish.
You are
Three
thinking,
ninety.
right.
Yeah, 390 years, I think, Hazel.
Yeah, I think there's
Return
just
of control.
extra.
As described above, may include an inventory list for internal purposes.
It's just some random words.
They just threw
Yeah.
that in there.
Do that in.
Often the town manager and treasurer.
Doing things randomly.
See where I'm looking at, Henry?
Yeah, I am,
Yeah.
yes, no, that, I don't understand the infrastructure assets, but I'm trying to figure out the whole thing right now.
That probably was a side head that belonged above, and they didn't really need it anyway, because only.
I would bet it just
It's
just
just-
didn't get deleted.
How about delete it? It does occur to me that we have not attached to this thing the suggested useful lives farther down in 2008. I don't know if we have a document which could be
So,
referred to, just say, there's a whole lot of different things would be covered, but we haven't attached it. Is there such a document, did you know,
Oh,
suggested useful lives, but line 408?
408. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. Well, it would be interesting to identify something as the source of that, if there's an internal memo somewhere, if there's IRS, the IRS sets a lot of this, right? Hello,
Yeah, that should be documented as to if that is.
first, it sounds like it's a document, but then it's not attached.
Yeah.
There must. There must be some.
Well, it
something like
says the
that.
department head will assign an estimated useful life. But I
Makes
see what
sense,
you're saying, yeah.
Because they know their business and they have that stuff, but,
But
Have
the
we ever done
suggested
that?
useful lives is a
here's what I think,
guideline.
I have no idea what any of this means. Anybody here can help me out with that?
I would
And-
use
yeah.
the example probably of fire department apparatus.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking of
Right.
useful lives.
Yes.
So I mean, if it lasts for another 10 years,
Yeah.
it sounds like they're having the department head establish that useful life.
Of an asset.
But-
of a-
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, but as far as our capital thresholds and our list of capital assets, are we all squared away on that with our auditors? Are they happy with what we're doing?
We are about to begin with our auditors for 2025. We have not scheduled that yet. They've just been collecting interview. As far as a list of capital assets, we haven't provided that yet to them.
Is there one from last year?
Well,
No,
So,
there might be.
Well-
I don't have it on my desktop.
what I'd like you to do possibly, tell me what you guys think about this. Visit with our auditors about this section 4. Give it to them and ask them if they have any comments on it.
Okay.
You know, and what are we doing? I mean, the Government Accounting Standard Board Statement number 34, that's an auditor deal. I have no idea what that is. And that's what's governing how we account for and our capital assets.
Are you talking about section 4, no,
Yeah,
line
talking about-
372 or 415?
line 392.
I'm talking about the whole section 4 fixed asset policy,
Okay, got it.
which goes from, it starts on line 351
All right.
and it ends on
Nice.
line 423.
So that statement number 34 is noted in a couple. of
Yeah,
others.
yeah.
Yep.
It looks like we
And-
flip-flop between fixed assets and capital assets, and if we're talking about the same thing, we may want to be consistent, and if we're not, we may want to have a definition.
Mhm.
Any vote that I made on this section would be made out of ignorance. So I think we should get advice from our auditors on it.
A good idea. Fix it well. And then determine what is your reason.
And maybe they could advise on whether or not we need to be consistent or whether it means different things.
Yeah, that highlighting does make it difficult to read.
Oh, the next section.
Yeah. In the next
Whatever
section.
Marbles can do that.
That, yeah, that whole,
Oh, those are the rules.
Mhm.
yeah, that whole section two, you know, from 440 down through 461, where those bad blue lines are that you can't read through.
Yeah.
That whole section needs to just be redone.
I agree.
Because our current policy is something that we're never gonna have enough money to do.
And it probably shouldn't be in there.
Yeah. And it's way more than everybody recommends.
Useless to ask, but I wonder where it came from in that case.
And like on the capital asset section that I said, talk to the auditors, you know, hey, if Lynn knows this and she passes it down, then just ought to come in and tell us about it. I mean, that would be fine.
Okay.
Hazel, in regard to I'm jumping ahead to the computer system controls.
We need to have that in a whole different policy.
Right. What I was gonna ask you.
So for the next meeting, going back through it, looking at the blue revisions and the purple comments and the red. Would you like us to go through and update all of those as they're written here? And then provide a clean copy with recommendations from Lynn on at the next meeting?
Yes,
Okay,
a recommendation on what the uncommitted reserve balance should be.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So relative to Marianne's comment about the computer system controls,
Mhm.
it needs to be in a separate document, but has MMA got any guidance on a templated policy for
I believe,
computer system controls and data data safeguarding?
yes, I believe they do. And then I think we also have a policy on that as well. For computer, we have a computer use policy. That we could probably update and integrate and some of this into and review.
Yeah, I mean, to me, those are different layers, but yeah, we need to modernize this.
Could we put that on
So
our
it's right.
to-do list, that great to-do list that you have for us?
The computer policy?
The
we know-
computer policy?
We can,
That'd be great.
okay,
We don't use track.
I don't know.
Okay, are we ready to move off of the financial policy? Yeah. Is there any public comment on this financial policy? No? Okay. Review and discuss priorities and loose ends lists.
So this is something that's been carried forward
Yeah.
from July. With some updates, but this was the last, we probably last saw this November 7th. This was in a meeting, and then I think it got tabled, so we're just going through that again. Do you want me to go down through it?
No, well,
Yeah, we can read it, but what's their objective tonight?
that's what I was gonna ask.
What action are we looking
What
for?
would the board members like to do with this list? For example, the 100-acre wood. That is, the appraisal's done. Tax interest and costs are being calculated, I believe.
Yes.
And so that's just something that's going on. When might we have something on
So.
taxes, interest and costs?
So I have a meeting next week with some members that are gonna help me go through some of the historical documents predating 2020. Our Trio software system only goes back to 2020. And so I'm going to be reaching out to our attorneys for anything, with different listings, other than 100 Acre Wood, with it, whether it was a Wilson Pond lot, or, I think there was another listing for it, but just going back into that and then looking through those historical documents. Once we get a little bit more on that, I have a list, a spreadsheet that we're listing.
I suggest, and maybe you should talk to Phil about this too, our lawyer. I suggest as we are, assembling these costs, that we also maintain with the list of costs, the supporting documents and a little narrative of what that cost was for.
I'm trying to locate the invoices that support each of those costs.
Okay, and some narrative of why it was done,
Okay,
why we incurred this cost.
okay.
At some point in time, we might be called upon to justify our numbers. And this information is what would be required to do that.
I would assume that we will be called upon.
It's a good bet. Okay, so the Lad Rec Center. The reconciliation of the accounting has been done. I believe that the Lad board may be working on an ordinance to suggest to us. And so that's where that is. And then we need to get a warrant article language, for the annual town meeting after we have an ordinance. I mean, when the draft ordinance can be proposed to us, we should take a look at it. And then my recommendation would be send it to our lawyers and see if this ordinance reconciles all the objections they had to the arrangement that existed before. And so that's pretty much, that's going well.
So there's a timing issue on this, so Henry, like, there's gonna be a drop dead date. Is it worth reaching out to the rec center board and asking what their status and when we might hear from them?
I've corresponded with them, and I suggested January, sometime in January or early February. Eric, I spoke with Eric about it, and as far as the draft ordinance goes.
This may be an aside to that, but since we're talking about the Lad Rec Center, is the board considered a Wayne board in terms of the planning board and all of those boards that we have now?
That is going to be that's why you need an ordinance
That's what I was
to
wondering if that was going to be.
to decide these things. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so ordinances and policies, the next dotted item under this. There's a bunch of completed items. The board and committee appointment policy, we've just kind of beat that one up a little bit and are going to take care of it. Farmers market, I'm not sure what that bullet point addressed is. Are we thinking of, tell me,
I think for the appropriation aspect of it,
okay.
for the operating expenses.
Aging at home. I've drafted something, Tom has it and he's looking at it, but I've also sent it off to MMA because there's a provision for, there's a money budget provision in it that they need to tell us if it makes any sense. And I should be hearing back from that. We should probably have something to report back more substantively next time.
So Henry, is there gonna be a farmer's market ordinance?
I don't know if we
I thought that was another one of those unusual situations similar to the rec center and aging at home, and that there's money
it is.
moving around, but there's
It
no
is.
governance.
The farmer's market doesn't have a checkbook. just like the lead board and aging at home, and so the town pays the farmer's market's bills. And I think that I think there should be an ordinance, and there should be an account set up for that. And when we hear back from MMA about the aging at home language, I think that it will be a good go-by for farmer's market, and also, Eric might find it helpful in the ordinance that he's drafting, but I need to get in. I sent it to him. I sent it to him right around the Thanksgiving time frame, and I got an acknowledgement back from him on Monday. So I'm guessing probably sometime next week I'll hear. Okay, the cannabis ordinance, according to the minutes we just approved, we have a point group that is going to take the temperature of the town and see whether they want one or not. Is that right, Mary Ann?
Tom and I were gonna reach out to some other towns and
Oh,
see
okay.
what they were doing.
Oh, okay,
I have yet to do that.
All right.
In all honesty.
that's fine.
And so I'll reach out to Tom and find out,
Yeah.
we'll coordinate better.
The grant policy. What's the scoop on that? It's a dot there that
That was just something that came up after I think the town meeting, proposed. At some point, I think that the town needs to establish a grant policy when we talk about the committees and things, because, some of them are matching grants, some of them are 100% covered. However, that once they put that grant through, whoever it is, I don't know if it needs to come through the select board for approval,
Uh-huh.
but then the town manager ends up working with that committee or a project coordinator to oversee the rest of the project and ensure that it's completed according to the state standards for the town, to make sure that the town is in compliance. So there's certain aspects of it that just require me to go out and participate in it. So as far as who is allowed to put in for grants, when they're allowed to, what's that process really look like? That's kind of, I think, what that's looking for.
Okay, and I think we should get input from Phil. Whether the warrant article I think they've prepared that one for us. There's one that's just kind of a boilerplate article that's in all of our town meetings about accepting gifts and grants.
Mhm.
About whether they believe that authorizes the select board to accept a grant like the $75,000 one. What is the name of that
The
company?
community action grant?
Yeah, the Community Action Grant.
Hydrology vulnerability assessment.
Yeah. The Community Action Grant is a grant that places my understanding at least of it is that it places no burdens on the town. The town doesn't have to contribute to that. Is that fair?
Well, the money comes to the town. and
Yes.
You have to issue that out to the town, through payments and things.
Yeah, but there's no taxpayer money. The town doesn't have the,
Correct, not for the community action grant.
yes.
The
Okay.
guidelines about how to manage grants that come in, who does it.
That's through the state.
Yeah,
In terms of your participation, working with
Right.
the committees that are working with the grants. I think that's a good idea.
but a question for Phil is that existing warrant article, if that's approved at town meeting, is that sufficient for the type of grant that we just spoke of, this community action grant?
Yep.
Then you have another type of grant that was like the one that was provided for the courts that does impose obligations on the town, and those have to be approved by town meeting. I'm certain of that. And so I don't, if somebody has do you know of any other towns that have a grant policy?
Not necessarily, because the town that I come from has a town council that can just approve it or not
Yes.
approve it, and usually the town administers those grants. And the staff manages it.
Okay. Well, maybe we should do some looking at what other towns have to see if there is such a thing that's common
Okay.
by towns that are similar to ours.
Okay.
I think how the grant policy came up, my recollection was that there was some questions and at in a prior board about, whether we had really good oversight of this grant process, whether the board was exercising good oversight. And so that's kind of how it came to pass. I think Trent wanted a grant policy, if my recollection was right.
That's correct.
Okay, local health ordinance, tell us about that, health officer.
So, I mean, that came about recently, once we had a, property, in a fire. And so, it just brought some health concerns, to our attention. And, other communities do have local health ordinances, and I have reached out to MMA and they have provided some examples. And so just putting together a draft local health ordinance, I think would help us enforce the, remediation of health concerns.
Good idea.
Then on our miscellaneous, the building committee charge is,
Yeah, can we pause there for a second? So,
Yes, yes,
take under
yes, ma'am.
policies, this is where we need to add the computer use
Yeah.
and system controls.
Okay. So we're gonna add a couple bullet points there. Computer use, and what was the other thing, Hazel?
System controls, it was the
Computer system.
Oh,
that
okay.
came out of the
Would that be,
financial policy.
would that be one bullet or two?
Well, it's two.
Two, okay.
They would not be under one.
Well,
policy or-
one policy is around backups and how they manage the computer systems in the office.
Mhm.
But the other is more of an individual personnel policy about what's allowed and not allowed using town
So you
equipment.
want that separate?
So that, well, we need to consider both and then decide if it goes in one
Okay.
or multiple. Does anyone mind if I go close that door? Because there's a
No,
cold wind blowing. You guys must be freezing out there.
the chair sits out of the breeze. It passes.
So I drove by, I was driving down Lord Road and I saw two people measuring our culvert that goes under Lord Road.
Oh.
Is that part of the grant?
Probably, yes, they were out, I think last Monday.
Perhaps.
Yeah, they were out doing some assessments,
Yes.
to go with the hydrology vulnerability assessment.
Okay, I stopped and talked to them, yeah.
Oh, good.
That was great to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, we ready to move on to miscellaneous?
Yes.
Okay, the building committee charge and infrastructure committee charge, those are done.
You say that you need to advertise for the building committee?
I still need to advertise for the building committee.
Okay,
I've gotten confirmation from all the previous roads committee members that they still want to be part of the infrastructure committee, and I've gotten a recommendation from one other member so far.
great. Mhm.
I'm sorry, I'm not being rude. This thing started talking to me.
Shut up.
I didn't want to check a ball score or anything. I just was wondering, what's it talking about? Okay, so the potential need for an economic development committee. I have no idea what that's about. What do we, anybody? Any
I think it's a good idea.
input on that?
Tom put in here?
Hmm.
That's a,
Tom.
you think that's a Tom win? Okay, we'll come back to that at another meeting.
Same thing for the next one.
Potential need for an affordable housing committee.
Well, you and I have talked about
Yeah.
that.
That's
I think,
something we
yeah.
definitely do need, and it's not gonna be easy. It'd be nice to come up with a committee that's mandated by the select board to develop some approach to it. And I don't know what that is yet, but it's obviously not gonna be simple.
Okay. So do we have any sort of an idea of what that means we're supposed to be doing? I mean,
What the
as far
charge
as-
would be.
Yeah, what the charge would be, but I guess what I would like to know is what exactly can the town do
Sure.
about this problem.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, what types of, what powers do the
Right.
town have to address this problem? Like I would like, and so we need to know that. I mean, or else I'd like to put a cure for cancer committee on there also, but I don't think that would do us any good because I don't know how the town could do that. But if the affordable housing there maybe, and so, who, um, how can we task, uh, and maybe we need to, maybe that's what we need to have a committee do. How would we task? I'm asking for ideas on this. Someone or some group to basically assess what it is the town can do about affordable housing.
Sure, we should do that. And we ought to also recognize that it's gonna require private fundraising and certain amounts of private initiative to make it work. Otherwise it won't work. And we should assemble a range of options. So if you folks would mandate that be done, Marianne and I will seek members of a committee to do this. That we could go through we could be the pilot run of the policy. But
Wouldn't we
it
want
would
some
be a
town input
non-governmental
before we
policy.
mandate something?
What?
Wouldn't we need some public input
Well, sure you would,
before
yeah.
we mandate? Mandate is a strong word.
Well, there's already some mandates too, so there's like the new rule about smaller lots and so forth. The state already has a bunch of mandates, and we could certainly assess the impact of those. The time to the.
So we should do some background
Sure,
work to
yeah,
figure out what the opportunities are
yeah,
and how to address them.
including an exclusively private venture. Would be one thing that could be done.
Okay,
Over the next month or so, we should look into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel like we've got a lot on our plates, and this is a
Oh, sure,
pretty
but
big thing that we haven't got any background or research or.
that's the point. That's the point. Is to give us that information. Did I send that to you, the paper that was done by a student of mine about it last summer?
I have to look back.
Kenneth County?
With a couple of
I have
months
a-
ago.
I have
you
a-
sent me
I have a-
something.
I looked at a paper that I think I got it from Tom, but he got it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got something
If
for
that,
you as well.
would you find out, it looks as though, well, we might have, because I thought everybody should, and that would be something worth. It's a quick orientation to
But,
the nature of the, it
Yeah.
doesn't go through all the things that I would have liked, but it does a good job.
but what I read is it certainly sets out the problem. It describes what the
Right.
problem is.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything in there about saying what a small town like ours can do to solve the problem. Was there anything in there like that? Cause I didn't see it. Okay,
It was about the
so,
county as a whole.
okay, so I'm happy.
Yep.
I'm happy to go look at whatever the board wants to look at, but I would make a suggestion. There are many problems that we can't do anything about. And we should have some idea of what our role is to address it and make a difference
Exactly.
before
Yeah.
we go on that. Okay. So,
The answer might be that the town has no options
all
to
right,
do anything.
okay. So the septic enforcement. What about that? That one's on here? I don't know who's.
I think that I brought up at one point that we should revisit what our role is and what our ordinances are and what we are able to do regarding various septic systems, especially along lakefronts. We had brought it up a couple of years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Probably Lloyd did. Because there used to be, there was a push for it a couple of years ago, was there not?
Well, let's see, you have another push, and I think that, it's important to catch up with what the Department of Human Services is doing. And of course, what's going to happen, if you have the lake next door to us, certainly put it on the agenda. And it might be that the process that they come up with for devising policy will be essentially what we need.
So I've been going through some historical documents lately, and one of the folders that I opened up happened to have the septic ordinance. It looked like there was a draft ordinance that was being developed. It was from 2021 through 2023. It seemed like most of the correspondence occurred. But it didn't seem that anything was completed. For what we have on our website, looks like it wasn't dated, but it was in typewriter font. It looks very outdated, and I feel that that's something that could be updated.
Yes.
Um,
And we
But
can
it-
start enforcing the law like of 2020, I believe it is, that says that every when they put it, every transaction on the shoreline zone should be accompanied by a testimonial from a registered uh, septic expert that septic tank is okay.
So I only got a chance to kind of skim through some of the documents. And I do understand that there's a lot more to it, and I'm
Yes.
sure that there are some state statutes in there that I'd like to
Yeah.
revisit and revise, and I'd like to reach out to our code enforcement officer.
Yeah.
And it happened to be closer to the end of the day that I found that today.
Yeah.
So I'll reach out and talk with
Yeah.
him
And-
next week when he's back in the office, and we'll start talking about it a little bit.
And I think this will come much more to the forefront as the whole 30 Mile River and Androscoggin. The issue with Androscoggin becomes,
Yes, that was
Get
also
going a
brought to
little.
my attention, and that was a recent discussion I've heard, is still ongoing. And so I think it might be good just to kind of keep that.
Yeah.
Keep doing a little bit more research on it, and see
Yes.
what I can put together.
that sounds great.
So an open space plan. I don't know whose fault that is. Open Space Plan, Parent Conservation Commission.
Comprehensive,
Don't,
the old comprehensive plan has open space language in it.
I'm just looking at
Doesn't
the,
I don't know.
yeah, part of it is, okay.
So is
So,
this something that goes into the review of the comprehensive plan?
I would imagine it would. I don't know how this got on here.
I think some of it was maybe a little bit of a brainstorming, free flow.
yeah,
And so if we don't know or don't have if it's not anything that we
pick that
can
up.
reasonably come up with a game plan for, let's line through it,
Right, yeah.
take it off our list.
Oh, there, okay, yeah.
Okay. Any public comment on that there? I knew there would be. Good.
You're taking off the need for a comprehensive plan update.
No,
No,
Open-
No,
no, I'm taking this, we're taking this open space plan bullet off of our, if you look on the packet today, there's this list of select board action items. And one of the bullet items was Open Space Plan Conservation Commission. And the comprehensive plan, that's going forward. That's not what this is.
and that
Well,
could be, that
or
could
if it
be,
is, we need to rephrase it and say comprehensive
I'm
plan.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is, open space plan is something that.
Yeah.
Well, the conservation, the whole.
Yeah.
That should just be restated as state required
Let's,
comprehensive plan.
let's just line it through. Well, because we're already doing.
Because we have the
comprehensive plan. It's not an open end. That
It's got
thing is
the-
ongoing.
Yeah.
there's
We
a
have we
placeholder
have
for
a-
this. It's
Okay.
not on our list, it's
Yeah.
on somebody else's list.
exactly.
Did we advertise for that committee,
I know, the committee,
the comprehensive plan committee?
I have not yet.
Okay.
Okay, I hope.
Okay, the last one here, I know whose that is.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. Perambulating boundaries.
Not today.
And I haven't heard anything back from the other town managers
Okay.
or select
Good.
members, so I'll follow up with them.
It wouldn't be a bad idea, just oftentimes, some of them don't answer my calls. If you talk to the right person, you might get somewhere. And especially be interested in having a contact person in each of the communities around, which we have 6, believe it or not. You don't notice it until you find it, till you look at it on a map. I have located virtually all of the time, the ones, and I wish I started a little sooner because I haven't got the ones that border on water. Well, except for one, but the ones over on the lead side are all water bound. And there's someone is on the Fayette side that are water bound, but those will be easy because we'll just visit them by water. We're not gonna swim across the lake. But I'm thinking now,
Today.
I'm thinking that the December would be a good time to get started. And to start by doing the one that goes from the southeast corner with Winthrop all the way up to the one with Livermore Falls, they're that whole long, pretty much land bound. Line, and then
Approximately what distance is that?
you suppose that would be, it's maybe 5 miles. Oh, 5 miles. It's a good question, and what, if you like this idea of proceeding in this way, that's what we'll do. I think we got do we get a motion to make that something official, or do we just,
Or
I think we have.
or for the perambulating?
you did make a motion.
Yeah,
Made a
feels good.
motion.
So
Can you
that's
write it
that,
down?
that's the status of it, it's underway.
Okay. I would propose that we just pass over the next three full dotted items in the interest of time, and we can come back to them sometime in the future. The deal about the sound knowledge of the town finances, I think we've been working on that just fine with Lynn's update and the update to the financial policy. So that brings us to supplements and abatements. Consider abatement 2526-01.
I'll move, we approve the abatement number 25 dash or slash 26-01 for Monique Mitchell, trustee, in the amount of $3,208.24.
Second. This is kind of self-explanatory. It was an error and we said a building was on the lot that really wasn't there.
Correct.
Okay, that seems like a good reason.
Both of these two items are tied together.
Okay. Any discussion by the board? Public comment? Vote on favor?
There,
Motion passes 4-0. The supplemental tax for John Griffin.
Move, we approve the supplemental tax 25/2502 for John Griffin in the amount of $2,613.24.
I'll second it. Shannon, what's the scoop on this one?
This is the same thing. So it was these two properties that were just kind of
The-
flip flopped.
The building ought to go on Griffin and not,
Correct.
okay. Any discussion by the board? Public comment? What do you vote? On favor?
there.
Motion passed 4-0. Public comments? Yes, sir.
Great. My name is Jack Lamoureux. This is my wife, Marcia. We recently moved here, as I told you before. And we would like to know if we could get our road plowed at least to our driveway, to our garage. Cause it currently doesn't get plowed right now.
I don't know if it's a private road. Does anybody know what road?
What's the road?
Did they have,
Road,
It's which?
White Road,
White
It's
Road.
right off of North Wayne Road. It's near the town
is it,
office.
is it private?
So it's a town road, but some years ago, and I've been trying to locate the historical documents. I confirmed on the main DOT viewer that it is only to be maintained in the summer. The town voted to only maintain it in the summer and not to continue maintenance on it through the winter.
And we had that we know where that was done at the meeting at a time.
I'm trying to locate the historical documents. I've been informed it was sometime back in the 1950s that it was voted on. But it has been, like I said, it was confirmed on the main DOT viewer for road maintenance that it is in there as only a summer maintained road.
Because there was no house where anyone lived there. We now live there.
Yeah, there's
So
several houses up that road.
There's camps.
Yeah, early
But we have a
occupied, yeah.
house, we now live on this road.
So you are the only year-round residents or?
Right,
At this,
yeah.
yes.
1950s?
Yeah, so the town did vote on that then, and so unfortunately, I was, as I've stated, well, so we complete our budget process and the town votes on it in June. And so my recommendation would be to have a discussion with the infrastructure committee and to do an assessment on the roads that we have right now and make a decision or a recommendation, excuse me, to the select board to the town, because the town would have to vote to approve on whether it gets maintained or not. As of right now, it's not built into the snowplow contract that was signed multiple years ago. And so we currently are engaged in a snowplow contract. And so it's just not included on that. And also to maintain that road, it doesn't have a turnaround at the end of it. So we would have to include the costs of building a turnaround down there for a snowplow.
Well, they could back right out, it's only about 200 feet.
It's something I would have to bring up to our infrastructure committee and probably to the town to get approval on.
So would that mean that we would get a reduced tax rate? Because, I mean, we're not getting the resources that the other residents in town are getting.
It's not included. Not all residents get the roads plowed by the town. There are certain
And
approved,
if it's a town road?
correct.
Looks like you said for a long meeting for nothing, but you at least know what to do. Well, she said she could consider it for next year.
If the town voted against
If the
allowing
select,
it,
or, I mean, we can make a recommendation if the select board would like to have that presented to the town for approval with estimated costs on how much it would be to establish that turnaround at the end. And then also to maintain the road through the winter, because that would have to be something that would be incorporated into the contract.
Yep.
And then we'd have to budget for that in the upcoming year for additional gravel for the summer. I mean, we already have that in there, but at the same time for winter, for plowing, for sand, for salt.
Okay, does the town maintain this road in the summer?
Yes.
So we grade it?
They do, they have. They did some trimming last summer.
Okay, I'll give you that.
There was a tractor that trimmed along the side of the road.
Mhm.
So I know the town's been maintaining it. It didn't need any work last year.
Not all roads get maintained every single year. There is a process and we're working on a process for a 5 to 10 year plan. Right now we have, I believe, 35 miles of road and just to pave, we just spent $196,000 to pave 3 roads. And so the cost to maintain those roads is exponential depending on what roads they are and how much maintenance they really need. And so it's a needs assessment. And that's, like I said, something that we're working on right now.
Okay,
I like the recommendation that the infrastructure committee,
yes,
um,
take a look at it,
take a look at it.
get
yeah,
numbers.
Get
around
numbers
it.
and make recommendations, but I don't have enough
well, and
facts today. I don't understand the
and-
situation in terms of, was this an existing residence? Did you build a residence?
We had a camp there, since the 60s. And there have been a couple of years where I've had relatives that have stayed there over the winter. And just in the last couple of years, we replaced we had a park model motorhome there that was kind of run down and we replaced it with a house, a regular house.
I'd like to get some information about what the obligations of a town are with respect to town roads. Is there anything that says, I mean, can the town decide it's not going to maintain a certain road and then the state indication that it's a summer maintenance only? Is that I'd like to know some more about that.
Yes, there's some different
Yeah.
language out there and I'll
Yeah.
get that for you, whether it's a
Okay.
decommissioned road,
Yeah.
whether there's like 2 other terms for how the roads are. And so some roads can be decommissioned and then they become private roads. We have a
Yeah.
bunch of private roads in the town of Wayne that are maintained by
Okay.
private owners.
Yeah.
And then there are some other that are partially, and then some that are fully maintained. And then there are some that are state maintained, like Route 133 or Route 31. And so that's just different, but I'll get that information for you,
Mm.
what the obligations are.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I'd like to know just because.
Yeah.
What happens if in this scenario, somebody puts a
Well, I wanna
house
give
in
you a
and the
better
road that
answer.
didn't exist?
Yeah,
And the answer might not be the snowplow will be there, but I wanna give you a better answer as to why it isn't, if it's not,
can we get that by next week?
or the next meeting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
next meeting, that's what I
Yeah.
meant, sorry.
I don't know if you get a plow or not, but I do think you're entitled to a good answer, okay?
Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys' consideration.
Absolutely. Yeah. Considering it's
Okay.
just the beginning of winter.
Anything else? The town manager report?
Is there anybody online?
No, nobody's online. So I don't have anything really too much. I was out last week, playing catch up a little bit this week. But it's a short week. It seems like, with the, holiday, or not, excuse me, the closing early on Tuesday. There's a holiday stroll on Saturday, and so, we've been working through some things on that. And I'm scheduling a time to meet with the Sustained Wayne personnel to discuss, a way forward on certain expectations.
Are they wanting us to pay for extra police
I
on
haven't
this?
received any request for police on
Okay.
that, but I have received requests from other residents
Yeah.
or for other resources,
Such as?
lighting.
Okay,
Your conversation with Sustained Wayne would include our building up here.
no. Well,
No.
she wants to talk about, I believe, you want to talk about things like the stroll and the Strawberry Festival?
Yes,
Yes. Sustained Wayne activities that impact the town, but there's no town approval
Correct.
of anything.
Okay,
And part of that, one of the things that's not on our bulleted little list that we looked at, but something to consider is a special events ordinance. Which would require town approval of certain things, and they have special events ordinances in a number of towns.
We talked about this.
We
before.
did talk, like, we talked about it last board,
Yeah,
when we were talking about the parks ordinance also.
right.
Yeah,
Can we add that to the list so we don't?
yeah. Was it
Right,
special
that-
amusements,
no, this
Special
is
event.
different.
special events? Okay.
Yeah. That's, for example, if you're gonna, like the Strawberry Festival would have to get approval of the town for blocking the streets, for taking the town parks. I mean, that's the basic example. I don't think there's any approval on that. And there's also town expenses on it.
Mhm.
There was $500 for the sheriff's office, and then we pay our fire department to go out and support that.
I think they're hauling
And-
around Santa.
And maybe the town should have a say on whether it wants to spend its money that way or not. Okay. Board member reports.
Can I just ask
Yes, ma'am.
real quickly while we're on the town manager? Someone came to me talking about, Pecasset and the Pecasset Dam.
Yes, and just recently boards were taken out,
Oh,
so, according to the spring, or
Right.
excuse me, the fall schedule.
Okay, because apparently the lake is much lower than it normally is in the winter, and there's some concern about that.
yeah, well, last year we took boards out and as a result of that, some people had no water. One being the general store. Because the lake level went down, the general store draws its water from the mill pond. And the lake level went down so low that the pipes were exposed and they continually froze. I don't believe that has ever happened before. I don't think the mill pond was ever that low before.
Pecasset, I don't,
And so I don't know why it needs to go that low.
in 50+ years, I don't remember seeing, well, I haven't been here for 50.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing Pecasset as low. as it
I
has
remember
been.
asking about these boards.
Who was the
And-
lady that took the boards out?
The dam keeper.
I understand there were some boards taken out for this year too, that were not necessarily supposed to be taken out, so I'd just like to understand that a little bit better.
All right. We'll get the,
What,
the dam manual, and maybe if we
Well-
need to review the dam manual.
Would be-
Well, if there is a manual on the lake level,
Yes, I've read it.
but I can tell you, if it's
Some time
never,
ago.
if it's never frozen, or water that has never frozen in the last 50 years,
Right.
I don't know why we ought to start freezing it now.
There's sand and rocks, in the area that I'm familiar with that I've never seen before, below or above water line.
Well, that hydrology is resiliency study, it is gonna look
Well-
at this subject,
That,
I think.
that hydrology resilience study isn't gonna do any good when the general store and there's one or two other residents don't have any water this winter.
Oh, that's true. So what do we do about it?
Can you look into it?
Are you gonna talk with the dam keeper?
Yes, he just came up and informed me that he took the boards out yesterday. So,
And in fact, I don't think they were all effective with the water, was barely all along the surface of the sill there last time I saw.
Yeah. Also, haven't we had an offer from the Pecasset Lake Association to buy new boards for that dam and do some work on it?
informally, I haven't heard anything since
Okay,
that one statement.
Hmm,
That leads logically into mind, we had a really successful meeting, we were almost full with the church, with 80 people in the seminar, you attended, you
Okay.
did, on the general matter of what to do with the lake. And we're also gonna have a meeting on the evening of the 21st of January on the lead side for people over there. We may not get to quite the number of people, but we feel like we ought to make it available. And so the planning for that one is a very early stage, but it'll be about the same. With the exception that it's gonna discuss the dam at greater length than was done over here. So you can expect to see some more information about that, possibly in the, hopefully actually in the January
messenger.
messenger.
Yeah, if we can get that out to Shannon so she can put that out on email, that'd be good.
Good, yeah.
okay, anything else? Board member reports? All right, do we have a motion to go into an executive session?
Move we enter into executive session for personnel matters, relative to one MRSA, section 405, 6A.
Second,
Second,
Discussion, all in favor? Motion carries 4-0. We're going into an executive session. The only thing after that is to adjourn. If you all want to hang around to make sure we adjourn properly, you're welcome to do that.
Any expectation of decisions made at the end of the executive session?
No,
I'm just gonna say if there was, we could maybe open up.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah. but we need to open up online to adjourn.
we do.
And so
we
you
will.
you
But there won't
can,
be any decisions
you
coming
can
out of
come
it.
in to make sure we do that right.
I have great trust and it's like. They
It's
will
like
come
we'll
out to-
Adjourn.
yeah.
Wait,
Back on. Okay, we've exited executive session and no further action will be taken.
move to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries
Third.
unanimous.
Unanimous